Okay, welcome back, guys. This is another episode of Ridgeback Rumble Talk, and here we are with the special Georgia Wilder, the graduating senior from the Ridgeback women's soccer team. Hi, Georgia. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic, of course. Big smile as always. Thank
Yep.
you. So, if you did not know, Georgia is a graduating senior. She was the number 18 on the soccer team. She did play as a midfielder. She studied kinesiology. She bagged 2 goals this past season. Amazing, amazing. And she is from Zurich, Ontario. Tell us a bit more about Zurich. What's it like?
Well, I don't exactly live in Zurich. I guess that's just the closest town around. But it's pretty small. Nothing too exciting. There's a little coffee shop and a gas station, and that's about it. So
That's so good, nonetheless.
yeah.
So we'll talk a bit more. She mentioned some things about where she lives and whatnot. We'll go a bit more detail into that. And we'll talk about your background, talk about your experiences as a Ridgeback, all the fun stuff that happened behind the scenes that we didn't get to see, and what your experience was like. But first of all, I want to start off with a little quiz to get you warmed up, to get you
Okay.
reflecting a bit more, if that's okay.
All right.
All right, so I have about 5 questions for you. Let's go on with the first one. So, first of all, you got your first win against Carlton this past season.
Yeah.
What was the score of the game?
It was 1-0.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you did score in that game?
I did. Yeah, that was the first goal of the season.
Yes,
So
exactly. Now this is the tough part. How many minutes into the game did you score?
Oh, geez. I don't know. It was in the first half, I believe.
Yeah,
Maybe 20 minutes in.
Very close. It was 19 actually.
Oh, okay.
See? Very sharp. Okay. Maybe that means the rest of these questions are going to be easy for you.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Okay. So, this past season, during the regular season, what was the only team that the Ridgebacks beat twice?
Oh, who did we beat twice? Trent?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I told you you're going to get it. What were the scores of the games? Do you remember that?
Oh, geez. I don't remember the first game. Maybe 1 or 2-0, 3-0.
She literally just got both in there.
Okay, and I know that.
2-0.
Yeah, I was gonna say I know that the second one was 2-0 for sure.
Oh my days! Always just knocking each question out of the park. Okay, I'm confident about the third one. Let's see.
Okay.
So, the team as a whole had 4 clean sheets this past season during the regular season.
Okay.
Who did we get those 4 clean sheets against? Which schools? There were 4
Oh.
schools.
Okay. This one's gonna be rough. Okay, well, Trent.
Just try your best.
Okay, Trent. Laurentian.
Okay.
Trent, Laurentian, Carlton.
Yeah.
And RMC.
Yes.
All right.
Nice.
Okay.
3 for 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. I didn't have 5 questions. I only have 4 questions for you. Actually.
Okay.
Because honestly,
right.
it's getting too easy at this point.
Yeah. Come on, you gotta get some harder ones in there.
All right. Let's see this one though. So, on the roster, I just did a brief skim through on the roster for this past season. Okay, including all the graduating seniors and everyone. So you're listed as being 5'5" on the roster, and there are also 2 other teammates who are also officially listed as being 5'5". Who are those 2 other teammates on the official roster?
Oh, I have no idea.
Just take a wild guess.
Okay, maybe Julia Listro.
Oh,
no. Shit.
Just keep going.
Okay, Julia, no. Who could be my height?
I could give you
definitely not Lauren or Ashlyn.
No.
So, yeah, I need a little hint here.
All right. So, the first person's initials are TH.
Oh, Tasia.
Yes.
Okay. I always thought Tasia was taller than me, but all right.
And then the second person, the first name ends with an E, and the last name ends with an S.
Oh, Reese.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
Good
had to
enough.
think
Good
there
enough.
for a minute.
That's good. Honestly, I didn't want you to just breeze through everything. So
Yeah.
that was
Yeah, that
funny.
was definitely tougher.
That's good. Okay, let's do some reflection now. Of course, you say we can't really look forward as much because you've played out your time with the Ridgebacks, you've graduated, whatnot. We can still talk about what your plans are for the future. I'm still curious about that. But looking back, I saw that you scored your first OUA goal against Queens in 2018 in a 2-0
Yes.
win. What was that like? Just break it down. What was the goal like? What was the experience like?
Um, well, I feel like I remember it was like kind of in the beginning, like first half of the game. And like Queens obviously is like always like a tough team to play, like one of our biggest rivals. So yeah, we had a corner kick and I was just around the 6-yard box and like the ball kind of just like came out. I think like my teammate Alexis like kind of like hit it or something and it came out and literally I was just there and I shot it. I was like whatever happens and it went in and yeah, it was just like super exciting yeah, it felt like pretty good. I was like not expecting that. Yeah. And especially against Queens and like to get that first goal too in the first half kind of like set the tone of the game. And I think we went on to win that game like 2-0 and like we had a really strong game that day. So yeah, it definitely was like really exciting for me for sure.
I can imagine that first goal is
Yeah.
always a relief, always an emotional moment. And
Yeah.
did you go
Something I'll
all
never
out with it? Sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
I was just gonna say like something I'll never forget, like that goal for
We
sure.
won't forget
Even
it
if it
either.
wasn't pretty, like definitely wasn't the prettiest goal. I mean, none of mine really were, but hey, they still go in. It still counts. So
Exactly. You know what they say, a goal is a goal. No one's gonna
exactly.
remember how it was scored. The number's there. So
No, exactly.
all right, that's perfect then. So let's now look at this past season. Okay. Over the course of September, I did some digging, just looking through the stats. I like to just look through numbers randomly.
Yeah.
And I saw that in September, we as a team had 2 wins, 2 draws, and 4 losses. And then
Hmm.
going into October, we had 4 wins and only 1 loss. What caused that dynamic shift or momentum shift in performance going into October?
Um, Honestly, I think like at the beginning of the season, like we were just kind of like getting down on ourselves a bit, like as some like not something like we were used to, I guess, like honestly, like um so we just like kind of tried to like get out of our heads a bit and like just go into the game like doing what like we do best, like playing the ball around, like not panicking, which is like a big thing. So I don't know, I think we just like kind of started to settle in and be like, okay, like we need to like kind of get out of this funk, like this is not like what we're like. So it was kind of more just like not anything like serious, like we sat down and we're like, okay, let's go. Like it was more just it kind of happened and yeah, it was
Yeah.
yeah, it was
You just
good.
have to, it was spontaneous, or was there a
Yeah,
defining moment that made it happen?
I mean, not that I can think of, but um yeah, I think just like once we like kind of took like the pressure off ourselves like a bit because we were losing, we are like, oh my gosh, like going into each game like kind of like a bit more nervous. So yeah, I think once we like took that off, but I don't think there was like that I can think of, at least maybe one of the other girls can remember, but like I can't think of like an exact moment that we were like kind of turn things around.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough.
Yeah.
Don't mind me. I was just looking for that, like that movie
No.
moment, you know. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that exciting, unfortunately.
That's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So going into the playoffs, I know we did lose to U of T, and I even saw penalty save that we had, and although we eventually lost 1-0. What was that game like? What were the emotions like in the game? Just describe the whole experience. from your perspective?
Well, like going into that game, like we definitely like didn't feel like we were gonna lose or like anything like that. Like U of T, like we've always like they're a good team and stuff, but they're not someone like we've always like historically like struggled with. So yeah, just like going into that game, like I think our mindset was definitely there. The biggest thing I think for us is like we just like got frustrated we couldn't score. Because like we had so many chances, like it wasn't like we weren't there. It was like such a close game. And we had like so many fans there, like the guys team came down, like so many families were there, like yeah, so it's like we had like so much support, like so many people cheering us on, and like we were so close. Like it's just like we couldn't get that goal to like get us back in the game a bit. But yeah, like saved a penalty kick, like I don't know, like we were like so in it, it just like sucked so much that we couldn't score, like
Exactly.
yeah, so it's definitely like frustrating for sure.
I know what you
But
mean. The 1-0 losses, they're always the toughest ones.
oh yeah, and like it was just back and forth the whole game, like yeah, that one was definitely tough. Like my last like OUA game to lose 1-0. I mean, good for U of T, like they went on to win actually like bronze at nationals. So but then again, that was like we're like, wow, if like they only beat us 1-0 and they went to nationals and got bronze, like it's like almost was like, oh, like that could have been us.
Yeah, that's so true.
So that was like really tough because it's not like at any moment we felt like we were totally out of it.
Yeah.
Like they were beatable, we just like couldn't score. So
this wasn't our day.
Yeah.
Essentially.
So
okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So I guess we have good signs looking forward into the future then. We
Oh, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
something we could build upon. So let's not linger on that depressing
Yeah,
moment.
no.
I want
No.
to try out another quiz with you again.
Okay.
This one is more or less talking more about your teammates.
Okay.
Like to see, okay, who are the different characters on the team that you've experienced and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we're going to play a game of who is most likely to.
Okay.
And I might possibly ask you, okay, why? Why did you say this, or why did you choose this person?
Okay.
But the first one I have is, who on the team this past season is most likely to remain calm during a fire?
To remain calm. Oh, probably Alexis Curtin for sure. Actually, now that I think about it,
Why do you see Alexis?
she's just like a very laid back girl. Like not much like gets to her. Like she just like brushes things off like really well. So I think yeah, like she would definitely not be panicking. So
That's good. Everyone
yeah.
needs someone like Alexis in their life.
Yeah, she's definitely good to have around. Like she's a good like calming presence and
Oh,
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
Good that you mentioned. I was gonna ask you next, like, who's most likely to become a comedian in your team? Would you say Alexis
Oh.
still or someone else?
It depends what type of comedian, I guess. But Sarah Foster just does like hilarious things. Like sometimes it's not even stuff she says, it's just like I don't know, just things she does are like really funny. So she's definitely one to always be cracking up the team like before or after practice or that kind of stuff, or on bus trips. So yeah, maybe Sarah Foster.
Sarah Foster. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll note that down for sure.
Okay.
Let's see this next one. Who would you say is most likely to become famous for whatever reason or for anything, just in general?
That's a tough one. I
Yes.
don't know.
You say yourself as well.
No, definitely not me. Who would become famous? I don't know who to say. Well, I mean, Julia has a really cute puppy. I mean, she's like cute herself too, but her puppy, Ellie, I mean, that could get her famous.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen a lot of people who have Instagram accounts for their pets, and then it's pretty blown up. So
yeah, check it out, Ellie the Havapoo.
Okay, this is going to be an interesting one. This is the last one though. Who is most likely to fall asleep in class?
Oh,
Don't be afraid to call out anyone.
I know. I'm trying to think. um I don't know why, but I could just like picture Maya Parr like falling asleep in class. Um, she's a character, and I feel like yeah, she's pretty smart. So I feel like she wouldn't even need to be paying attention. So she'd probably I could see her falling asleep in class for sure.
Okay, that's a good reason. That's a good one actually. So,
Yeah.
all right, let's take things now away from that though. I want to talk. I was curious about this. I saw you're number 18 this past season. Is there a reason why you chose that number, or you just picked it randomly?
Well, funny story. Um, Growing up, I've been like number 17 my entire life. Yeah, so I wanted to be 17. I got to UIT and nobody was 17. I'm like, oh my gosh, I like
Oh,
get to be number 17. And then so we like practiced on our like old jerseys.
yeah.
So we couldn't find the one jersey for 17, so I couldn't wear it, but 18 had all of its like the whole kit.
Yes.
So I started wearing 18. And then like my best friend now, like Sarah Norman, she came like a couple weeks later, and at that point we had found 17. So then
Oh.
she started wearing 17. So I kind of just got 18 because of that, but I mean it worked
Yeah.
out. I love it. Yeah, I still don't hold too big of a grudge against Sarah for getting to number 17. So
At least you said he was your best friend, right? So
yes.
why not? I'll be
Yeah.
cool with that.
If anyone else, I guess it's okay that Sarah wore it.
Exactly. That's a good reason, man. Good reasoning.
Yeah.
So now this is more just in your style of play as a midfielder. I'm always curious about this because, of course, growing up, I'm a huge soccer fanatic. Watched soccer
Yeah.
my whole life. So I'm really into the tactical side of it, the styles of play that I see from different players and whatnot. So I was just begging to ask this question. What would you say your style of play is like? And then do you have any role models or soccer players that you model your style after or that you look up to?
Okay. Um, well, I would definitely say I'm more like a technical player, like in the middle. Yeah, I'm like not like too big, so I feel like physicality was something like I kind of always struggled with, like even in youth soccer and then into the OUA. So yeah, definitely like more technical, like see the field, kind of set that kind of stuff up for sure. And I think that like definitely comes from um my role model, because my role model would be Steven Gerrard from Liverpool.
Oh yes.
Um yeah, he's been like my favorite player since like I was a little girl. Like Steven Gerrard was like my number one guy. So
That's
and like
great.
yeah, that just like he played in the middle as well, was definitely a playmaker. So yeah, I think I just kind of followed suit with him, and I guess like I kind of reflected that on the field. Like I wasn't a big goal scorer, but I feel like um setting the girls up and like getting the plays going, I think was something that I definitely like tried to do. So
Yeah, that's still a
yeah.
very important role. Still at the core of the
Yeah.
team, driving the force.
Yeah.
So, on that note, actually, are you also a Liverpool fan, or are you just a Steven Gerrard fan? Because I was
Oh,
about to congratulate you.
definitely a Liverpool fan. Yes.
Congratulations on winning the Premier League.
Yes, I know. Super exciting.
That's great. Good times then.
Yeah.
So, okay, apart from soccer, though, are there any other sports that you've ever played or been into? Like it could be basketball, rowing, badminton, anything. Like, are there any other sports that you're really into?
Um, well, like in high school, I honestly like just tried to play anything I could. So I kind of just like grew up playing like basketball, like tennis, like badminton was like that too. But yeah, I would probably say tennis and badminton would be like my next like top two for sure. I
Yeah.
actually like thought about trying out for the badminton team. But I just I never played competitively, but in high school, like me and my partner were pretty good. I was like, okay, maybe, but yeah, I never brought myself around to do it, but I definitely wish that I did. So yeah,
Okay.
tennis or badminton for sure.
Those are good sports too. So,
Yeah.
why did you then choose soccer and especially to go into play varsity soccer in university? What was that decision like?
Um, well, growing up, like my sister played competitive soccer too. And like I live pretty far away from anywhere that is like competitive. So for me, I had to drive an hour to London to be able to play with my club team. So that was kind of like, okay, if I'm gonna play soccer, like I need to either like fully go into it or like not at all. Like there kind of wasn't really an in between for me. So yeah, I just like saw like my sister playing soccer and like I was playing on the sidelines and like and I like just said to my mom and dad that I like really wanted to play. So they put me in soccer and haven't looked back. I don't know. I just like loved like the team atmosphere and like I had such like a good team growing up and like I'm still friends with some of the girls. So um yeah, I don't know. Soccer is just like I don't know, I find it like
Yeah,
a bit more exciting and yeah, definitely like the team atmosphere for sure. And I was just like better at it, I guess too. So I
yeah.
feel like when you're a kid, you want to like keep going with something you're good at as
Exactly.
opposed to something you're not quite as good at. So
True. So you can shine
yeah.
in that too. And soccer is
Yeah.
always a great experience. So once you go there, it's tough to get out of it.
Oh,
That's
for sure. Yeah.
that's one thing
Um
I've learned then. So okay, perfect then. I want to talk more a bit about. You mentioned Sarah Norman. You've had many of the teammates too, like Lauren and different people and names you've brought up too.
yeah.
So I want to talk more a bit about your lifestyle outside of sports. Maybe a bit more about your family, what you like to do for fun, things that inspire you, and all that. But of course, I want to have another quiz again to get you warmed up. I like asking
Okay.
tough questions. So this is a bunch of would you rather questions
Okay.
I'm going to ask you. So let me put you in a situation first of all. Let's say you are in the championship final in the playoffs, and for some reason they have a golden goal rule. So whoever scores the next goal wins. So would you rather miss a wide open? Either way, you lose this game. Okay, let me
Okay.
just clarify that. Would you rather miss a wide open net and the other team goes on a counter attack and scores and wins, or would
Okay.
you rather score an own goal and your team loses the game?
Um hmm. That's a tough one.
I
Like they're
know.
both kind of different, but I think I would rather score an own goal because I feel like that's like I don't know, like accidents like happen,
Yeah.
but like a wide open net, like as a varsity soccer player, like I
Yeah.
shouldn't be doing that. So I think
Yes.
I would rather do an own goal.
You can live with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I know it is painful. Okay.
yeah.
I have another one then. This is more of a heroic one. It kind of turns out better than the last scenario I painted. So
Okay.
either way, you tie this game. Either way. But would you rather make a goal line clearance and tie the game 0-0, or would you rather score a last minute goal and tie the game 1-1? Both of them happening at the very last minute.
Um I would probably rather score a goal last minute. I think it's just like way more hype and like exciting. Like, and if it's like the end of the game, like everyone's like running and stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, like stopping like stopping a goal, like that would be like pretty good too. I just think like scoring one at the end would just be like way more exciting. I don't know.
All right. I
Maybe
agree
that's
too.
the attacker in me, not the defender.
True. I wanted to test like what more do your instincts lie in those two directions? Okay.
um yeah.
So I'll take the attacker side as you said it. So
Yeah, definitely attacker for sure.
okay.
Yeah.
So this one, of course, is a very unrealistic scenario. This is probably not going to happen, but either way, this is more or less what you have faith in yourself in more. So if let's say you're playing in the World Cup final and you have to choose between two options to try to score to win the game for your team, in fact, for your country altogether, would you rather win the championship from a penalty with a goalkeeper in the post, or attempt to take a shot from the halfway line with no keeper in the post, but the ball can't touch the ground? It has to go straight into the net. Which would you rather choose?
I don't know, the shot from halfway kind of sounds kind of exciting. I feel
Yeah.
like, yeah, I feel like that'd be that one. I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah.
do you like taking penalties at all?
I used to, and then I just had like one bad experience with it in like youth soccer, and then I don't know, kind of was like turned off them for a bit. Like I'll do it, but it's not my favorite. I feel like I could kick it pretty far too, so I think
Okay.
maybe the
With
halfway one. Yeah.
it's a safer bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. No
Personally, I don't
goalie,
know.
like yeah.
Just go for it. The Hail Mary.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So let's say you mentioned some names too. Like I want to take that back to you. You mentioned
Okay.
Lauren. You mentioned Sarah Norman. Now, out of all those different people, especially the people you played with this past season, one thing I usually like to ask people is who is one person you would like us to interview that you think would be
Oh.
a very interesting person to speak with? And what's one question you'd like us to ask them?
Um, who should do that? Maybe Melanie Hoekstra.
Okay. Why
Yeah.
Melanie?
I just think she's like hilarious, and um, I don't know. I don't know. She's funny, and one thing I would get you to ask her is how her garden is going.
How her gardening is going.
Yeah,
Okay, interesting. She's gonna be so
you'll
shocked when I
you'll
tell
be
her that.
impressed.
Oh my god. I'm looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
she's an
Perfect.
interesting girl, so I think it would be fun.
Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
so let me ask you this. This is more of a looking back, reflecting on your life altogether. Away from sports, this is just your life in general, including your family, your upbringing, and whatnot. Try to summarize your life story up until this point, Georgia, in a minute. What are those
Oh,
key moments you throw in there from the day
like
you
what do
were
you
born till
mean?
now? So from
Like
the day
what?
you were born up until now, maybe you could say I was born so so and so. I did this significant thing in high school that changed my life. I came to
Oh,
university, so just the most significant moments growing up that pop into your head up
oh,
until now.
geez. Okay. Um, this is tough. Okay. I was born on August 24th, 1998. So that's where it all begins. Um,
Okay.
um, geez, I don't know. Going to school, loved science, like playing in the yard, like that
Yeah.
fun stuff. And I started to play soccer. That's all I talked about. Like soccer was my life. um, yeah. Yeah. I had a lot of dogs like growing up, so
Oh,
loved
I love
dogs.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a pet donkey named Rob. He
Oh,
was like my best friend when I was a little kid. So yeah. And then I don't know. Um started to like science more, took some science classes in high school. Then I started to think, oh, like maybe I want to become a chiropractor. I love my chiropractor in London. Um, then I saw like UIT and got kind of like recruited through there. And then they had a bridge program to the chiropractor school. And I like was given the opportunity to play soccer. So it just seemed right. Then I ended up here, just finished my undergrad, and now I'm going to chiropractor school. So
that's
it
good.
yeah, it kind of all played out well. I don't know, there's no like not too many like pivotal moments in my life. Like pretty boring, but
Oh
yeah.
no. Those
Like
it's still pretty cool. I mean,
yeah.
all of that too, very, very steady progression and growth. You mentioned your sister, how she inspired you growing up.
Yeah.
So many of the things I'm sure your family have played
Yeah.
an influential role. What role would you say
Yeah.
your family has played in your life altogether? You can shout out any of them if you want.
Okay. Well, obviously like such an important role. Like they've like been my support system. Like I can't thank like my parents enough for like taking the time like every week to drive me to London, like an hour there, an hour back. Like that's such like a big commitment for them to make for me to be able to play soccer. So like that just like means so much to me. Like I wouldn't be here today like if they didn't like make that sacrifice to be able to drive me. Yeah, my siblings to like beating me up in the yard, like trying to get me more physical, like my brother giving me the old shoulder, trying to like get me to be angry or something so I would be more like physical on the field. But yeah, like they all like in their own way like have like helped me achieve my goals, so just like appreciate that so much.
That's really good.
Yeah.
I love hearing scenarios like this,
Yeah.
stories. And then perfect. So you spoke more about, I love how you mentioned your pet you had earlier, your pet donkey as well too, and your upbringing altogether. So what would you say is one interesting thing about you growing up that all of us should know, just to wrap up everything? One fun fact or just anything.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know.
I mean, maybe people know this, maybe people don't. But I like grew up on a farm. So I feel like I just like have some funny like stories and like ways of life that maybe like not everyone has heard of or like has had. Like not many people can say they've had like a pet donkey or pet emu. So yeah. I don't know, maybe that's like kind of interesting. I don't know.
It is. I mean, I do find that very interesting. I don't think ever I would have had the opportunity to have such pets, and you've had them all. So I mean, I was gonna wrap that up there, but actually, let's finish off. Can you tell us one interesting story? One interesting story to wrap up this interview.
Well, when we were like younger, I guess so I have 3 siblings. Like we'd have the babysitter over or whatever. Like my parents were out of town, and we'd think it'd be a good idea to go into the emu pen. But like also in the emu pen that we had donkeys and llamas in there. So we were like, yeah, let's go see the animals. Whatever, it's fun. We think we shut the door and we'd go back inside. And about like a couple hours later, one time like we went back out and there's just like literally emus and llamas and donkeys like all over the yard, like, and my parents aren't home, so yeah, the babysitter would be like freaking out, and we'd be trying to like herd all the animals back in. So I don't know, that was just like, that's really funny. But yeah, I don't know what more to say. It was not easy for sure. I don't know if anyone knows what an emu is like, but they just walk like the fence line, like they get scared so easy. So it's like they walk in like forward or back, like that's it. And so trying to get them back into a pen is like, it takes skill that I did not have when I was like 8 years old, and I'm terrified of these things. So
that's really funny to hear. Emus on
yeah. And if you don't know what an emu is, look it up because they just are hilarious looking.
I feel like I'm gonna watch some emu videos. After these.
They're literally just like an ostrich but a bit smaller, if that makes sense. Okay, there's a big bird.
I love that description, man. Perfect, Georgia. Thank you so much for all of
no
this,
problem.
for sharing your experience and whatnot. You know, I have to give you this opportunity. Just what's your parting message? Final message. Shout out anyone. Just see anything you want to say.
I would just say to everyone that like is a Ridgeback, future Ridgebacks, anything is like make the most of your time there because like it's so special. So yeah, it goes by way too fast, and you just like got to appreciate all the little things because they definitely like add up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It really does breeze through.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, Georgia, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.